Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Yakuza Like a Dragon. A dragon dealing with the first night of cycle 10 of infusion. Well, chemo. Chemo set 2, cycle 10. Problem with chemo is if I go 2 out of 3 with trying to beat cancer, what sucks is that you can win the first 2 falls, but 2 out of 3, they still can have a third fall, and you only have to lose once. Total bullshit, man. Learn the fucking rules, guys. You're making Jim Cornette angry by disregarding the wrestling rules here. At any rate, so we are in chapter 5, the Liu Mang Man, and the police are coming. I've done a little bit of leveling off screen, not a crazy amount, honestly. I spent a chunk of time. What I really did was I went back to CanQuest and did some CanQuest off screen because it was bugging me that I had these cans and hadn't spent them. So what I ended up doing is earning enough of cans to buy each of the books that raises, because there's 6 personality settings for Ichiban. And there's 6 different personality areas: passion, confidence, charisma, kindness, intellect, and style. Of the 6 areas, books to raise your stat by 1 level are available in CanQuest for 3 of the 6. Passion, charisma, and kindness, which are also the ones that had... Well, confidence is almost up to level 2, and kindness and charisma had moved up from level 1 to level 2 over the course of the story, but passion is the only one that was already on its way to being level 3, like, you know, past 2 and on its way to level 3. What am I talking about? The point I'm getting at is passion, charisma, and kindness seem to have more early game opportunities to be pushed up. So we're eager and approachable and tolerant, which is nice, but we're still a dumbass, we're still tasteless, and we're still a pushover. But what I did is I had to earn a little bit more cans to buy the 3 of them, and like 1 of each, and then what I did is I was like, well, but I still might find out later there's something else I really should have used those can points on instead, so I just did it off screen enough to get enough money that I could buy a second book for all 3, but instead I'm just holding on to those and waiting to see if something else comes up that I need to buy. And that's most of what my off screening was about. I've also Psycho or Psycho? I think it's Psycho. Ichiban's name is easy to remember because Ichiban means number 1. Psycho's name is to remember now. I was thinking the watch, but now, like, I'll have to wait and hear the dialogue. If it's pronounced Seiko, I'll feel silly. But if I just keep calling her Psycho, Psycho's a pretty easy name to remember. Just have to, remember that she has the Psycho Crusher. Koichi and Nanba, I just cannot ever remember their freaking names, and I feel terrible about it because I like the cast of this game. I mean, the last fully voice-acted RPG adventure I played on this channel, the last 2 were both Final Fantasy games from the Lightning and Sarah like games, and had a lot of fun making jokes about those characters, but didn't actually like them. I actually like these adventurers. I'm told that the latest Final Fantasy game, which Bean and Bobo got me as a Christmas gift like 2 or 3 years ago, and I actually got the season pass and the DLC, and I just haven't gotten around to playing it, so that has to come up at some point. I've heard its cast is quite likable, and I have a real soft spot for the cast of Final Fantasy VIII, which has as much to do with it being the first CD-era game I ever played, RPG, and maybe stuff that was happening when I played the game for the first time. And I have a real soft spot for the cast of Final Fantasy X, but, like, objectively, these are by far the most engaging and fun characters in an RPG that I can think of that I've played. Like, maybe ever. Although it's hard to compare them to characters from a purely fantasy RPG. I should probably get on with it, and the reason I stopped off-screening, I need to get 1 video, just 1, I happened to cut off my last play session. See, I've done a little exploring. This area here is off limits, and I haven't bothered to try to explore in here. But this area, like, you get close to it, and you see a bunch of like kind of shady looking. I think this is Koreatown. You see some shady looking dudes, and Ichiban says there's no reason to come here. So I believe that's like Koreatown gang headquarters zone, and the plot will almost certainly take us there. But we're not supposed to go there before the plot takes us there. The reason I stopped off screening, because I was like just kind of killing, like wandering around fighting guys, gradually filling out the Pokedex. It was fun, it was enjoyable in a grinding kind of way. But what I realized is everybody had hit the ceiling on their relationship level with Ichiban until I do some other stuff than just fighting. So I was grinding, and I was getting experience, and I was getting money, and people's job levels were going up, but I was not taking advantage of the relationship level build, so let's do that. And the easiest way to do that is probably to go to... Yeah, but where the hell is it? I was actually trying to find the vocational school on a map. It's not really marked. Well, yeah, just go to the bar. Everybody can be advanced one more level, I think, by talking to them. And I can attempt and fail to talk to people. I can go upstairs and... Unless there's a bathroom up here. Oh, you can save here. Well, you can save anywhere, but I mean, you can heal up here. This can serve as a headquarters. I did not realize that. I mean, technically, we're not at 100% full everything, so there's no reason not to. This seems very generous of this bar, but then again, we do appear to be their only customers. And I don't know, like, Japan apparently has lots and lots of really tiny bars. And when Bobo and I were there, even though I am known to be, been a bit of a drinker at different times in my life, and I had been, that was the R&R trip when I was in Afghanistan, so certainly I wasn't getting any alcohol while I was there. General Order 1 and all. Not that other people didn't find ways. But, yeah, like I didn't, Bobo's not a drinker, so like, he's not all that excited sometimes about hanging out with people who are drinking when he's not drinking. But the other thing was, I figured if I went into a Japanese bar, I'd get drunk and talk to Bobo, but like, it's not like I'll be able to have conversations with any of the other bar patrons, so you're just being in an interesting new environment that you should be taking in and getting too drunk to appreciate it. There's nothing wrong with going out as a tourist to some place where you do speak the language and getting drunk and having drunken conversations with foreign people you'll never meet again. That can actually be a really fun experience sometimes, if you're careful. But, no, just getting drunk while, like, Japanese people just kind of give you sidelong glances didn't seem very appealing. Tell me a fun story. Chat with Aroha, tell a story. Well, she wants a story. Let's tell her the story about the time that George Takei shot us. Weight of the Dragon? Oh.
By the way, you've got a pretty crazy tattoo on your back, right? Is it
oh, it can actually replay the stories here. I wonder if that does anything. We've missed quite a few, apparently.
Lots of properties on saving. Yeah. Lots of.
There's probably quite a few that I could have gotten, but I wasn't recording, so I walked by and didn't trigger them.
Bento got them. I wouldn't need that. Oh, I won't. So no.
Because like they're all with just us and Nanba. Like I think we had one story after Adachi.
Hey, you guys want to hear a scary story?
Where'd that come from?
I was at a laundromat.
I was really hoping somebody would say Adachi, just so I could confirm.
Oh.
Did you of course not yet. Still
Houston.
Hey. Hey there, blimpy boy, flying through the sky so fancy free. Sniff.
And, nope, I can't check his name. Okay, Koichi Adachi. So it's Nanba and Koichi if I'm going to use first names.
Welcome.
You've got mail. Just bring me the goods and I'll make you everything from bentos to bouquets. Even Chinese medicine. So it's interesting. We've got I'm a serious thief. Resurrection bolus. You need 15 and 20 of certain ingredients? Jeez. I guess you're not really meant to be making these, huh? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Probably the number on the left is how many you need. The number on the right is probably how many I have. Doesn't look like I can make anything, though. Oh, no, never mind. The number on the right is the number you need. Because I have 5 of 2 tomatoes. So, yeah, I need like fucking 20 mysterious fruits, to get revives a fallen ally with full HP and full MP. I would imagine there's a better way to get that. Unless you can really easily buy mass quantities of these ingredients cheaply later. Anything that we would really need? Bouquet of lilies. Probably make a great gift. Oh, is there going to be a dating sim aspect to this? I know for a fact, just from little glimpses of Lethal's plays, that we have a lot fewer female characters than male characters in the main story. Psycho, it's like there will be little hints that she's developing a relationship with somebody. I won't tell you who, but it's not Ichiban. And like as soon as I saw that, I was like, I really appreciate the fact that like maybe the game won't be making us fall in love. Or if it does, like it might be not with a party member and not through some kind of Final Fantasy VII style system. Like maybe we just actually in the story meet somebody who doesn't beat up thugs with us, and we fall for them. All right, so I'll get drunk with everybody so that we can advance all of their personal narratives. Why the long face, Namba? Something on your mind? Is this not going to be a...
Hey, Namba. You good?
Oh, Ichiban. Perfect timing.
Well, we did all
Guess
come
you
here
can already
together.
tell, but yeah, I've got to get something off my chest. You got a sec?
I won't just listen and nod. Just say what's on your mind. Welcome to Kasuga's Counseling Corner. I would imagine these make a difference as to what personality trait you advance, which means I really should get serious and try to figure these out, so I take the one that's going to be the hardest to fill. But I also am under the impression, it's a general vague impression, and I don't think I'll feel like the Let's Play is a failure if we don't max out every personality stat. But I'm under the impression there will be sufficient ways to get all of them filled. I don't really need to worry. So let's just say what's on your mind.
Oh, you bet your ass I got a sec. That's what being a bro is all about.
Bros for hoes, dude. Sorry, Psycho.
Bros. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, I saved your life.
You're kind of nuts, but I guess that's what I like.
And I like the fact that you were kicked out of the nursing profession for stealing
So lay
drugs.
it on me.
Passion went up, and that is probably the least one that I needed to
Yeah,
increase.
cross my heart.
Hope to die.
Okay, so last night I had a hankering for a nightcap, so I dragged my ass down here. But it
That's
was
funny. We've been together every second, and I don't remember that happening.
So I'm sitting here all by myself. Then I start thinking, what would be the harm in helping myself to a small pour? Just a shot, really.
If you are really, really a long time customer who's really trusted by the bar, and you pay for the drink, there is a small possibility that when they find out, they won't be like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
That's when I see it. An unopened legend malt, shining in the dark like it had my name
So
on it.
you are not planning to pay for
What's
this.
a legend malt?
A super high-end whiskey. King of kings. One glass is at least 10 grand.
Wow, that would be like
I know, right?
$1,000.
Couldn't dream of buying a shot, much less a glass. But I figured a drop would be okay.
I don't exactly sell it by the drop, dude.
You're right. But I took one anyway because it was going to stop me.
I like a
poured
drink
just a
once in a
drop
while,
in
but
my
I've never been somebody
That
who
sweet honey touched
could
my
wrap my
tongue.
head around people
Straight to
paying
heaven.
like
It was that good?
hundreds of dollars
Best
for a
whiskey
bottle
I've
of
ever had in my life.
any whiskey,
taste that I
Scotch,
felt in my
Irish, I
whole
don't care.
body.
That's stupid.
A fruity aroma that I can still smell if I try.
It just
telling
whatever.
you,
I mean, if you have that
it's
kind of
pure
money,
magic.
it's great, but it's
All
more of
my
a status
cares
thing.
just
Then
melted
nobody
away.
really likes that whiskey that much better than
really
the
that good?
stuff you can get for like
They don't call it the
$80,
legend
$90 a bottle, which is also
Yeah.
super high end.
Packs a legendary punch, too. Next thing I know, I'm staring down an empty bottle.
So you owe them
Wait.
100,000 yen now,
Drink
basically.
it all?
I did. Guess I blacked out or something. But the fact remains, I downed at least 100 grand worth of whiskey.
I'm glad it was
What did the
super
bartender
high end
say?
Scotch
Think I
single
actually
malt
told
then,
him?
because if you downed $10,000 worth of whiskey, which is about I think roughly what 100,000 yen would be, you should be dead if you did that in a sitting. You should have died of alcohol poisoning.
What's he gonna do? Hand me a bill that'll never get paid? What I did instead was I found the nearest mini-mart, grabbed the cheapest whiskey I could find, and replaced it.
No, dude.
Wait, so the whiskey in the Legend Malt bottle right now is...
I wouldn't...
Horse piss. To the brim.
What would be really fun is if we find out some other guy had already done that and he drank a huge bottle of horse piss.
So come on, Casca, what would you do if you were me?
If it were me, I'd...
Well, okay, so you can't give the choice of actually telling the truth. Because honestly, what would the guy really be able to do to you? He could call the cops on you, whatever. He knows he's never going to get the money. He could just kick you out of his bar forever. And I'm under the impression that this is Air Force DMV cops bar, and that Nanba and Ichiban, and particularly Psycho, who is visiting for the first time, it's not really their bar anyway. X keeps giving us passion. Let's try, which I think is why I was slightly ahead. It's what I've been choosing in these choices. Let's try square. Stay calm and let things play out.
Let's see.
Because that sounds like the intelligent answer, and that's the one that we...
Let things play out.
Well, how is that gonna solve anything?
Think about it. Drinking whiskey like that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right?
Well, yeah.
But I don't remember because I drank too much.
Whatever's in that bottle won't get discovered for a while. So why panic about it now? If you stay calm about it, I'm sure you'll eventually stumble on a solution.
That's weirdly reassuring, but also vague.
Well, don't worry. Once we're doing the property management minigame, we will actually be able to afford to pay for the whiskey. And that is intellect. I need to remember that.
I knew you were the guy to ask.
Well, if it isn't my two favorite vagabonds. Why are you two not drinking?
We're vagabond sailors. Would you like to go to Liz Boner?
Life stuff.
Without me?
Liz
At
Boner.
least you saved me a seat.
Of course we did. Shall we?
I'm in the mood for something special today. And I know this place has some killer whiskey.
Now she's just fucking with him.
You want whiskey?
Yeah. There a problem?
Well, I mean, unless she buys the legendary malt, which she
Good.
also can't
I
afford.
was thinking we could do something fancy for once.
You don't mean...
Bartender, I'll take a 12-year-old silver malt on the rocks.
You sure?
It's 1,500 yen a glass.
What?
What? A girl can't reward herself every now and again?
We haven't done anything to earn an award,
We
Naomi.
shit our pants every time someone orders a whiskey now, aren't we?
No doubt about that.
No doubt about it. That's right, David Hayter, was listening to all this. Level up, bitches. Kasuga feels his bond with Nanba grows stronger. Nanba will now gain more experience when he's not in the active party. So I don't know that we're getting anything for these level 1 to level 2 increases. But we do get... Do you not have a relationship? Okay, you do. I was worried there for a second. What we do get is there are jobs that will become unlocked once they need a certain friendship level with us before they can do it. Like, we've unlocked the matron and demon special jobs, but Psycho obviously is one of the two characters because there's an optional female character we can pick up later who can become a matron. There's also there appears to be a songstress idol and dominatrix job. Well, no, it's not a songstress idol dominatrix, so I would imagine there are people who equate those two things in their headspace. But no, there are separate female-only jobs, one of which is a singing idol, and another one is dominatrix, and I think there might be some less goofy ones as well. And then the dudes can become demon, which is actually a rock and roll guitar kind of thing from what I've seen, which looks kind of fun. But in both cases, you need to be advanced past where we are before you're allowed to get them, even though they're DLC. So, like, if your thing was to buy DLC and break the game, it doesn't make it easy. Now this, I am not sure about this. I don't seem to be able to switch back to freelancer. I don't know if you get individual opportunities to switch or what, but it's a little weird. I can't figure out how to switch. Like, I can't turn this off and then go to freelancer. It seems like there should be a way, and I'm not figuring it out. But for now, let's chat. Let's go through in the order in which we acquired these party members. Although, actually, I did that wrong because we got a Dachi first. But, oh well. He left and came back, so he got moved behind Nanba in line. Because Nanba's never left our side.
Dachi-san, either I need my eyes checked or you actually bought a drink from the bar.
Yeah, I bought the super billion-dollar scotch.
Just water. Giving your liver a rest? That's rare for you.
Usually you pull your river out and stomp on
I
it.
don't have the money for sake right now. Not even sneaking it in from the convenience store.
Well, we grinded for a lot of kills and got some money.
Broke, huh?
I forgot to set aside something for this one big expenditure I have every month. It's stupid.
But, you know, every so often I like to
You in debt or something?
buy a college scholarship for a young person.
I've been sending Takashi money.
Oh, isn't Takashi-kun the son of the guy who was arrested on false charges?
Thank you, because I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Kasumi. He was arrested because I didn't believe Takashi's testimony.
Yeah, but you also tried to get Kusumi released, right? Or Nouchi's the one who shot it down.
These names are complicated, huh?
Nothing will bring Kasumi back from the dead.
Well, dark magic. I mean, was she buried in an Indian burial ground, pet cemetery, or anything like that?
First his dad killed himself, then his mom passed away from grief. Poor kid ended up in an orphanage. Well, ever since then, I've been sending Takashi money every month. Under a fake name, of
Call
course.
myself Daddy
Why a
Warbucks.
fake name?
Because Takashi wouldn't accept money from me. I'm one of the cops who locked up his old man.
Oh, man.
So I started sending money to him under the pseudonym Yamada.
That's a hell of a good deed, Adachi-san.
And a great fake
But
name.
Wouldn't Takashi wonder why the heck some stranger named Yamada-san was sending money?
Well, I never added the son.
Oh, I didn't overlook that. See, I played this Yamada-san character as a rich guy with a passion for philanthropy.
I'm a great actor.
It worked. Takashi took the money without thinking twice about it.
A passion for philanthropy, huh?
That's a real-time commitment. You're like Daddy Longlegs. Oh, man, I want to see that answer because he's going to make fun of him for being a dumbass. But what we actually want is... I want to test this out. Is Square always intelligence?
Oh, shit. I think I feel some tears coming on, man.
Huh? Hey, what's up with you?
I never knew how hard you were trying to do the right thing.
It's his whole character.
Doing it, even
It's
after
his
you lost your
defining
job. You'll
characteristic.
never get credit. Still helping out Takashi-kun.
Don't call him.
Adachi-san, you're a man among men.
Like Daddy Longlegs. Oh, it's passion. Okay, so never mind. You never know which one it's going to be.
Heartstrings so much.
Seriously, man, doing that for 20 years is freaking amazing.
I just figured it was the least I could do for the kid.
Ugh, I almost want to go
That's not how I
redo
would
this.
describe it,
I want to hear the
especially now
Daddy
you no
Longlegs
longer have a
stuff.
job.
Well, that's a good point.
You know, isn't Takashi-kun all grown up by now?
He's 25.
Don't you think he should be able to stand on
Well,
his
that's
own
way
2
too old to
years
be a
as well?
character in a fantasy RPG, so
Except
it's a good thing
now
this is
he's
not
prepping for law school.
quite one.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah? He wants to be a lawyer?
Yeah, probably wants to figure out how to take out...
Another blood-sucking lawyer.
He probably wants to figure out how to stop
Maybe
corrupt
he won't help him
cops.
That much. I mean, he's a good kid. You know, he writes me a letter every month and thanks me for the money. Those letters are how I know he's trying to get into law school.
Well, unless that's a
Maybe he was
scam to keep the
inspired
money
to do that
coming.
because of what happened to his dad.
Yeah, that's...
I wondered the same thing. That's why I thought I'd keep helping him until he passes the bar exam.
Well, the bar exam's
Then he
supposed
could
to be
become the
pretty tough,
devil's
yeah?
attorney. The devil's
Well, he's been
attorney.
studying his ass off for the exam since college. It hasn't been easy for him. He lives on wages from his part-time job and the money I send him. Doesn't go out or party, just studies.
Studying the
Sure
great
hope he
techniques.
passes then.
Hopefully he'll manage to do it this year.
Hopefully you'll be okay sending him money until then. It's gotta be rough.
Well, to tell you the truth, that's a big factor. If he can't support himself soon, I don't think my heart's gonna hold up under the stress of all my stupid money troubles.
Water's
No
expensive.
Now it all makes sense why you're broke.
No, thanks. Hope you're rooting for me at least.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
we're
of course I'm rooting.
going to make a lot of money at that soap land, but
And what do you say to buying me a drink?
Oh, I walked right into that one.
Come on, a clink of the glass would be music to my ears.
tilt the glass to old
Fine,
Paladin.
fine. Not like I can say no after a story like that. Hey, bartender, can I get in an order?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Why don't you start trying to replace the scotch you guys stole from me? He will get more experience when not in the active party. It's bitchin' awesome, dudes. Meanwhile, is Psycho Crusher like at a full level behind them? I'm not sure. It would make sense she would be, but for some reason I don't think she is. So we got Bond level 2, Bond level 1. Oh. And she's at Bond level 0. Okay. Yeah, it's Koichi, just by virtue of having more plot stuff to talk to him about, is way ahead. But she is about to... I think she's about to be caught up. Because he's at Bond level 2 with no advancement. He's at Bond level 1 with no advancement. She's at Bond level 0 with... about to get pushed to 1. So I think she will actually be caught up with Nanba. Because I guess these bar things are the only thing that unlocks another level. And we probably leveled... Yeah, because we got one early with Airport Cop. I think we just fought enough guys since then to actually get a full level.
Want to grab a drink with me?
But
Sure.
didn't we do that at the end of
You really
Nanba's?
know how to knock him back, Sachan. Promise me you'll keep it to 1 or 2.
No one told you you
Oh,
could call me
come on. It's no
Sachan.
big deal if we drink more than that. It's not like I'm gonna make a move on you.
You're
That's
gross.
a bummer.
Thanks for destroying
So,
my male
hey,
confidence.
You're technically still a mama at a hostess club, right?
Mama,
Yeah,
don't
but I
let your
didn't found the
babies
place.
go
I was
work at
promoted
a
to
hostess
Mama
club.
after Nonomiya saw that I was the best hostess there.
Because I was the only
If you're
one
that
with
good a
female.
hostess, you'll be bored drinking with me. I ain't much for clever conversation.
Well, I mean,
Be
being
so
a good
hard on
hostess isn't
yourself.
about
It
good
takes
conversation. It's
practice.
about
I
squeezing every
definitely wasn't
penny
natural at it.
out of the...
But neither of us is looking for tips right now, so who cares?
Okay. So what's happening?
I don't
with the
talk to
club
people
now?
for fun, you
Still
know.
going strong, even without Nonomiya?
I've got the girls holding down the fort. They should be fine, barring any earthquakes. Or ex-boyfriends.
Or Yakuza murders. That's been a
Pretty
thing.
impressive that you trust your staff to run the whole joint.
They know the basics of the business. I'm the kind of mama who teaches her youngsters well.
I'm a mama who won't
you
let
do
my
say so
babies
yourself.
grow up to be cowboys.
Well, I do.
Or cowgirls, I suppose.
But of course, it was that desire to educate that caused all the drama in my family.
Save the drama for your mama.
Was that all the stuff with Nanoha and your dad that you mentioned before?
Yes, because that's her backstory. I remember walking to Starlight Castle, sis living through the run by the Serio clan was taking care of this old man for a ridiculously high fee. Nanoha worked as a soapland hostess. I guess you could come to this much later.
Yeah. At least things have simmered down among us recently.
Simmer down now.
Thanks to you guys. My dad's in a real nursing home now, and Nanoha's looking for a more legit job like she had before.
So you
Yeah,
called
maybe
them
she was
pretty
enjoying
often?
the soap hostess thing.
no.
Soapess.
Never. I just have my hostesses secretly check in on them every now and then.
I'm
Nanoha
running my
doesn't
own
want
hostess
to see
empire.
me.
I'm gonna invent a newer, more expensive version
You two
of
really
the
can't get along?
Twiggy.
That's an understatement.
Hostess.
I haven't seen her in 7 years. I do call her up sometimes, but she never wants to meet in person.
She's worried she'll get confused
I'd love
about which
to,
one of
though,
us
and
she
I tell her
is.
that. She turns me down every time. Guess I have no one to blame but myself, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, you did force her to become a prostitute. She didn't actually do that, guys. I'm joking around. Are we gonna get a decision point here?
It's a boring story. You sure you want to hear it?
Well, I mean, would you like to hear about me getting shot by George Takei? I'm here to listen, Sachan. Well, it's not like you got to entertain me. I'm all about boring stories. I mean, we could try to be cutesy with I'm all about boring stories. I think the earnest thing to say would be the first one. Let's try to be cute and see what that does.
Yeah, that's me. And why not? I love shonen manga. I'm sure I'll like your story.
Your
too.
story is a comic book. That's what I'm saying.
No way do you really mean that.
It's true. Now come on, let me hear it.
Okay, if you're going to beg,
Oh,
I guess
charisma
I have
went
to tell
up.
you.
Thanks. So go ahead. How come you don't get along with Nanoha?
But she's a whore. I mean,
Well-
literally.
I think it's because I was just too controlling. I always had something to say about everything she did. My
I've met
mom
people
was
like
sick
that.
throughout our whole childhood.
Not really in my family,
so
but
I
like
felt
I've met
I
people
had
like
to
that in my
take care of
professional
my
life.
shy little sister.
I had a boss once. She wasn't my boss. She was like 3 levels up from me. But, you know, without getting into boring details, like, yeah, I had an unusually high amount of contact with, like, high level person in my organization while working on some projects, and went to lunch with her one time with some other people. She's just a really extreme personality in a lot of ways, and like she would get mad because I would take my sandwich in my hands at a restaurant, take a bite out of it, and then hold it in my hands while chewing before taking the next bite. And she was literally like, "Why don't you put your sandwich down? None of us are going to steal your sandwich." I was like, "What?" Like it's lunchtime, and a senior executive in my organization is like, with what sounds like real anger. She was one of those people who would just like get angry about nonsense and then forget about it like 3 minutes later. Brilliant mind, but just like really weird personality sometimes. It's like, put your sandwich down. You're driving me nuts. Set your sandwich down when you're not eating it. Okay. So maybe she was like one of these people who like literally anything her sister did would be like, set your sandwich down when you're not eating it. You're combing your hair wrong, like that kind of thing.
Little sister. But you're the same age, unless there's a new kind of twin.
One of them came out first. Like, this is a
Of course
thing.
we're the same age. Her personality just always made her seem younger. She was so timid. I was the one with the guts, just like Mom. It's probably why.
And
Mom
one of
trusted
them
me
was
more than
born
Dad.
earlier, like
He
by
was closer to
usually by a
Nana
matter of
since she took
minutes.
after him.
I gotcha.
Dad wasn't earning much from the little company he ran back then. I tried to help him out by getting a part-time job in high school.
But I was heading down the road of
Soapland,
Soapland, so
entertainment was where the real money was. Pretty soon, I was essentially the breadwinner of the family. And after Mom died, even more so.
that's sad.
All I wanted was for Nanoha to get into a good college and live an honest life.
And not be a
But you think that
hosto.
came off as controlling
Hostess?
to her?
Yeah.
I mean, she's
told
not a
her which
hostess.
college
She's a
to go to.
bartender, right? But she's like
Insisted
the
she become
mama.
some sort of white-collar professional.
No, I think
But
she
the
was
straw
a
that
hostess,
really
and she
broke
became
the camel's
the.
back was me chiming
boss.
in about her new boyfriend.
Well, yeah.
I listed every red flag I could possibly think of. Then I asked her if the dude raised any of them.
What?
He raised all
you
of
made
them.
a physical list?
Yeah.
Well, it was written on paper.
Stuff like being dirty, acting douchey at restaurants, condescending towards women, always name dropping. There were a lot. I went too far, honestly. But you know what? The bastard did fit a lot of them.
His name was
He
Nanba.
like,
He was a nurse
"Oh,
at the
but he's
time.
getting it together. He's starting a consulting firm. But I told her to dump his ass.
I'm betting she didn't like that.
No, she did not. She threw stuff, screamed herself hoarse, cried. Even my freaking dad cried seeing all the drama.
I never cry, except that I cried in the very
That
first
makes
scene
sense.
where I was introduced as a
I think it always
character.
bothered him that he couldn't make enough money to help my mom. He
Yeah.
was embarrassed I made more than he did. I remember, after he found out what my pay was, I just started doing whatever I said.
Called me
And then all
ma'am.
of
It
a
was
sudden,
weird.
During this fight, he started sobbing about how he should have helped Nanoha break free from me.
Sounds like he was finally letting out everything he bottled up.
Sounds like you're
Yeah.
terrible and your whole family is aligned
It
against
turned
you.
out Nanoha's boyfriend problem was just the beginning. Because in that moment, I realized my family was distancing themselves from me.
Such
It was,
That's pretty
7 or 8
rough.
years ago when I decided to leave home and just focus on work. Imagine how it felt when Nonomiya called and told me about this new family trouble.
About the
How
family you'd
Nanoha
abandoned?
chose to work at a soap land instead of asking me for help. I was shocked. I really was.
How douchey were
Just in
you
case
as a
it ever comes
sister?
up,
Because
we're all supposed to
it
pretend
seems you'd
you
have to have
don't
been
know
pretty
she was working
extreme.
at Otohime Land, right?
Knowing my sister, she'd die of embarrassment if she found out I know.
Well, then the charade must go on.
Or you could find a way to come clean. Now that she doesn't work there anymore.
I think I had one too many after all.
Well, we didn't
I
actually
didn't
see you
plan on
drink one at
talking for
all
so
there, did we?
long. Thanks for getting a drink with me, Ichiban.
Thanks for not telling me any of your stuff, because apparently that's just not going to be a thing in these scenes. They are focused on raising your relationship with us.
Everyone's going through something.
Everybody's
Being a friend
talking
to talk
at
to
me.
just makes it a little easier.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Something your worries sure would help a lot. You want to know where people know the troubles are all the same. Even if your trouble is that your family hates you. And they seem like they've got the right idea. Alright, guys, well, despite having some thoughts about how I should probably try to min-max these stupid interactions to raise specific personality traits, it really just doesn't seem like it's worth the effort. So for now, I'm going to save, I'm going to move on, and the main thing I wanted to do was get that done so that the next round of grinding will actually be useful to raising our character levels again. And I think I will do that. Let's real quick just chat with everybody now before we leave, because they don't have the icons indicating super extensive chat. Now it'll just be like, the weather's been nice lately, huh? Yeah. I had a dream about 10,000 yen falling from the sky. Why did I wake up? Weather's been pretty nice. You mean tonight? Need something destroyed? Alright, I'm going to call it a video, and I might do a little more off-screening, and I might jump back in. I don't know. But I'll catch you guys next time with more stuff. Bye-bye.